Okay, welcome back to Cities Skylines 2, where we have a growing city named New Tylerton with more highways, boats, traffic, and, well, gems like this. Now, this is because of growing pains. There are many things that we need to address, including fixing the roads in this area. And although Cities Skylines 2 is supposed to be the game where you're not having that much of a traffic issue, it feels as if it's not working. Now, last episode, I think this might have triggered somebody, but I forgot to delete this stub over here, so let me just go do that. And now we've got an even bigger issue to deal with. With the population growing on both sides of the highway, there is only one thing that's going to happen, and that thing is going to be traffic jams. As you can see here, all of the exits coming out of this specific area over here, heading out of the university into the main highway, is getting blocked because all of this traffic is trying to go somewhere else. They're all trying to head into downtown, and there simply isn't enough transit heading into the main city from here. Now, I would try to do something else with this, but frankly, it's not really something that we need to deal with. What we need to deal with right now is industry and how we are going to deal with it. Now, there is also this area that has not been filled out since episode 1. Now, nobody has commented on this. Absolutely nobody has any comments on this. But it's just awkward, people. You have a ginormous downtown area right next to just empty trees on a grid. This doesn't look very nice. So comment down below and subscribe, I guess, while you're doing that, because, well, we need new things here, and having an interactive series is apparently what increases subscriber growth. So this is simple to fix. We just include a roundabout, and then we try extending it by a little bit, like this. Like, it removes some things, but it's not that bad relative to what we were seeing earlier. Although, those traffic patterns don't look particularly nice. And I think this is a good time to start building a road that will intersect outside of the city. We have a lot of tiles to do so, but we don't have enough time to do that yet. But there is one thing we could try investing in, and that is trying to get tourism. We have, okay, Balter Pines, a stone monolith that diversifies and enhances its surroundings. But we should invest in large sports parks. And what does this do? This has something to do with medium density row housing, I believe. And therefore, it should go in the area where there's medium density row housing. Simply, I'm wondering what we need to do anyway with both the Balthazar Pines and what to do with the city as a whole, because there's not as much issues as I thought there was, but there is waiting for a hearse and waiting for an ambulance. So, although it's getting better, it's not as good as it's supposed to be. Therefore, we need another, we need another crematorium right here, so that we can supply ourselves with more things, and a depot. An additional incinerator should be good. We're not sacrificing any space, so it actually helps the things that we are supposed to do. But I am going to go ahead and increase the width of this road, just because I know that there is going to be a lot more traffic in the future. But now, there is nothing we can do on either side of this, so that's okay. It looks a bit conflicting, but seeming as if there's already a 4-lane road on the other edge as soon as you get into this area, I think we're probably okay. This loop, I feel like, is completely unnecessary because there's no ships that are going through this area that are trying to enter here. So it would be a good idea to knock down this interchange once we have the time to, but we have a lot of revenue, especially from our offices. We could try reducing the tax rate down to 5% maybe. That should be good enough. And how much are we making? We are still making $3.3 million of monthly balance. So this should tell us enough about our city's welfare that we're doing okay. But what are they saying in the industrial area? They are saying high resource costs. The company has trouble procuring relevant resources at profitable prices. So it's telling us we need more transportation, basically. I know where we can make something like that. It's just a matter of how we are going to get there. Because I'm not going to make some drawn out railroad line that just goes everywhere. Because although that would be a good option, it's nothing that's feasible within the area that we have. Like, it is feasible, but at the same time, it is also costly and will take a long time to figure out where we could build it. So, I think actually, it would actually be a good idea if we just extended the railway from here, intersected some roads over here, maybe an overpass, go through these future farms into a railroad over here, through an overpass, and then finally into a train station over here. I think the plan's good. I'm gonna go ahead with it. It seems as if this area will cause a lot of weird things to happen, so I think as well we need to reconfigure this area. Wait a second, while we're at it, it would be easy enough to just extend this all the way to the north, so that now we can have connections to the main train line here in the coastline, as well as trains running all the way up to the north. Might as well just plop in the train station here while we have the chance to. I mean, it's only a small area in the entire part of the city, and it would allow for more stations and more transit in a small enough amount of area. So it's actually kind of a really good idea from a point of view of which you would need to build things. But the issue is that some of the curves are too tight. I'm not so sure how we're going to be able to fit this. So, if I just bulldozed another one of these, sorry, Baltasar Pines, but I'm going to put you somewhere else. And you to the south as well. We're also going to demolish this area. But it is going to leave some good amounts of row housing in this area. And then we can just go ahead and curve the tracks to our liking, like such. That should be good for that end. And then over here, we do the same thing. And now our whole system is in check. We have a system here, 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 and over here. And with that, that completes all the stations we need to, so we can build a cargo railway from here to the north end of the map. Do the same thing over here with station number 2 and build it out to the west end of the map. And finally, we can build one to the eastern portion of the map. This should give enough supplies for any of the people here that it will be enough. So, finally, I think we could also try attempting to build a trade railway over here to this main station. Do that. Then we build one of those all the way from over here, and this one will just stop here, but it'll also stop at the main train station. And although this is a lot of stations, granted, it's probably not all it's probably something that we don't actually need. It is good enough in such a way that it'll allow us to have enough train lines. I'm just gonna skip to the part where the first cargo train comes in. Oh wait, just realized we are out of capacity. We need to upgrade our system, so we need yet another depot here so that we can run more trains in the same area. And this should be good for this section, and this should be good for this section as well. So now all of it can connect, and there are an extra 5 trains that can be used. But I feel as if we need to we need to redo the train lines because these are all just kind of getting wonky at this point. So we're just going to completely redo all the main train lines like such, and then we just make one singular route that goes into the city center here, and then it goes outwards, and then backwards, and then inwards. So now there's one line for both the east and west areas, and then finally we could create a north-south line that starts at Odenville and ends right back at the regular station. But in the case of this, we then create a commuter line running through this area, through this station with this platform, run it to Old Downtown over here, and finally, I just pressed a button. Would you believe it? I can't, oh man, now I have to go do this all over again. This is to here, to here, to here, to here, to here. And instead of 5 lines, we only have 3, which should definitely decrease the amount of rail we need for the same amount of people. Let's see here. Is that the first cargo train? No, that's the first passenger transport vehicle on the new set of lines. But have I seen a single cargo train? This is the first cargo train. What is it carrying? 10 tons of plastic. Well, that's disappointing. Just realized that this thing has 31,000 tons that can be transported. So this should fix the high resource costs, unless we need to create industry out in the middle of nowhere, which is probably fine, but I'm not entirely sure. So if we are trying to transition into a bigger city, we need to create a motorway around the entire perimeter of the city for extra capacity, just in case we expand all the way out there. And we have a lot of office and high density demand, but I'm not gonna tap into that, mainly because it's just not a good idea for this part of the city. But I will place it in areas that are easy enough to fill in, that can just blend in easily with the rest of the city, so that it doesn't look like there's anything going wrong here. Like, for example, if I want to build something like this, I just gotta build some high density offices near the center of the city. And I'm just going to I'm gonna zone some of these areas as offices, so then it can fill in the remaining area. So that's good. How is our harbor doing? There are only 7 passengers waiting there, so that is not good at all. And we forgot to put the upgrades. So taxi stop, increase platforms, and that should be okay as long as we have enough trains in the rail yard. It should be fine, which it is not, because we have way too many passenger trains for what we need. We only need 2 of them in train line 1. And what are all the train lines? Train lines, okay. How are the train lines doing? How many vehicles are they using? One of them is using 3 trains. I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, no. This is the north. This is the north line. So that's fine. Train line 1 is just train line 1. How is it doing? Actually, all 3 train lines are doing well. So I'm just gonna leave them be, but decrease their frequency so all the cargo trains could go through, which should be okay as long as we downgrade all of them. And you only need 2 trains. And this one, the train line 3, we can keep 2 trains because this is a local commuter line. In fact, increase this to 3 trains so that people can get through. Now, how is the cargo line doing? How's the cargo line doing? Oh, it's just not telling. Oh, there it is. It's taking 5 trains for only 600 tons of cargo. It's okay, maybe, but there is a better way to do this. We are going to build a harbor here. This should be enough land to build a harbor, as long as we have enough land to build this. Although we don't have a kind of line sitting over here, so can I build a harbor? I need a cargo harbor. And how much does it cost? 490,000. And we're gonna have to terraform this area, so I'm going to level the terrain like here. And then, it gave us another building, Vista building. Brilliant views and beautiful design despite some issues with windows. So I'm going to place that. This should be 5,000 North American medium density rows. So I'm actually gonna put this right next to the train station, because it's a cool and hip area right next to downtown, and honestly, it looks really nice. Back to the harbor, though, we need to create a kind of shape that would work better. So like this, we need to create a kind of square. And the more square-like it looks, the better, because if it looks square-like, then you're able to put in the harbors more easily. Now, this is looking as if it's not enough, and then that means we need to fill in the gap with even more area. So that's okay as long as we can get all of this area over here. So, is that enough length over here? In water. Okay. Yeah, that looks good as long as we can fix this area, indent this area over here to make it look more like a square. And finally just put this in like such. And this is in water. And actually I want to make this more like a triangle, so of sorts. And then, does this work now? No, still in water. So then do that again. This whole thing has just turned into me trying to put a harbor in a random area. Will it work? Maybe. But a lot of it is saying that it's in water despite it not obviously being in water. So, there. I think two original piers should be enough. Add some cargo crates over here. No, well, actually that's a terrible location to build it. If I want to, I'm going to indent this area more. Does this look good? What if we just extended this area out a little bit so that we could fit in a cargo harbor right here. Still in water? How is this still in water? Oh, it's still trying to transform itself. Will this work now? I saw it not being in water, so it definitely will work. There, I did it. I'm just not so sure how this will work. Railway connection. I will take a railway connection and a warehouse over here. So there are two of these idiots that need work. Oh, the water's coming on here. I was not expecting that. I thought Cities Skylines 2 water physics, they had it completely muffled. So I'm going to put in a highway road right here, then curve it away like this. What? Okay, this is not, it's saying that it's not working, so are you sure about that? How is this not connected to the road? It says road required, but there's a road right here. I'm guessing it's trying to say that we need a regular road. Yes, it needs a regular road. So we just snap it like this and then put it back together in the shape of whatever this is. We could try connecting this back to the main area. I wonder how long that would take, but honestly, I don't know. So I'm just gonna time-lapse this. While I'm doing that, I got milestone 12 unlocked. Large city. Congratulations, you're moving ahead very nicely. Very nicely indeed, isn't it? This should be enough to unlock our tourism and whatever we need to do. And this will just be exponential basically, so I'm just gonna go back to time-lapsing. that's a good enough start on the port. There are now 2 gates. There are entire industrial areas over here. But the issue with this is that pollution heads to the east over here. So that's a little bit of an issue that we might need to face, because now we're polluting more of our city relative to what we used to, and now we can't really use this area unless we build, say, an international airport in this area, which we can't. These are just hills. But thankfully, the wind points directly over here near the coast, and that just points not to the hills. So then we could just use this hill area as residential areas sitting right next to the coast. Although the issue is that these areas will still have air. Finally, though, we need to link this up with the remaining sections of boat that we need to. So a medium seaway would work perfectly cool and normal. This should be fine. Linking it like such. We need to turn though, so build another one of these tiles out. Make it turn, maybe, but we need to level this out. So just take this, and level this back to where it's supposed to. And then curve this. How is this still no water? I'm confused. This isn't no water. In fact, there is a lot of water. I'm believing this has to do with, yeah, like this. There it is. So that should be good, maybe? No? No. Okay. Again. There. And that's good. That's good. Now we can curve this around. Take this all the way over here. And link this back up, so that if we have a cargo harbor, we could take this to here, and we could do this over here as well, and then do the same thing on the other port. And that's good. That is 4 lines to our new cargo harbor port over here, which looks really nice. This junction could be the start of the ringway if we just simply built a road from here that took it up north and then looped it back around here. That would be good, although I feel as if we would need to build it somewhere farther out. Somewhere over here would be good, like somewhere that before the hill. So actually, yeah, it would need to be right there. Then it would curve over here, then curve over here, basically just continue curving over this area, and then through this most of this land. It's actually completely fine, so just keep building a road and build some highway here, and then end the road right there, and that should be enough land to build basically anything. How are the offices doing? Great, actually. And now we've got this entire area that's just filled with row housing and medium density apartments that will allow the university to have, oh, I spoke too soon. There are way too many people at the university. We need another university, and I have no clue where to put it other than, well, what do you know? Another spot just opened up right there. And get a extension wing with a university park and a study area. And since the road just ends, like, right at the railway, I think it would be fine if we just built it that way. So now we have a second university right next to the first one. And now we have an industrial area connected by railway lines to the main area. Although, once again, we need yet another another rail yard, which it's painful. I mean, how many rail yards will we have to create before we have enough area? But that's fine. Cool and normal, as they say. And then put it right here. Curve it here. and then add another one of these the other direction. This is a really hectic thing that we might need to clean up in the future again. We've added so much in this episode, from new industrial ports to adding an entire brand new harbor. It's really something to be beholden of. And wait, let me just make a photo mode over here because it would be really cool to just show this. Hopefully it's saved. Yep, it's saved. There it is. And then I think that should be enough for the cargo trades to go. Yes, those are the cargo trades. And these are carrying all the cargo boats that are coming in from all sorts of places. And this stuff will just completely be shipped in from the ports, and our population is blowing up like crazy just because of how we invested everything. Citizens, they've never been growing faster. Now it's at almost 60,000. When we started the game, which was right around here, we were at about 33,000. So basically, by just waiting around and building new ports, we basically doubled our population. Now, my question is how this has developed a strain on the city's services, and no, actually, not really. We built our infrastructure in such a way that it allowed us to keep going and build pretty much the best things that we possibly could. But my question is currently, the last question is pollution, and that is, it's completely fine in reality. So, yeah, I feel as if this would be a good place to end the episode. We have created a brand new cargo port that we can expand over here if we want to. We've created an entire new railway line extending from the north to the south. We've created commuter lines, and well, basically we've created the backbone for a city much larger than what we currently have. And I'm really enthusiastic on what is next for this city. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in episode 7, which, unlike all the previous episodes, is coming very soon. Thank you and goodbye.